Welcome to Diet Starts Tomorrow, which is what I keep telling myself. I got Giulio Gallarotti here.
What up? What up? What up?
Man? Thanks for doing the pod.
Dude,
Thank
of course.
you.
Good to be
here. We
here.
got our temporary graphics here.
This looks great, dude.
Yeah, it's not
a
bad.
good looking graphic.
Yeah, Mikey's on the ones and twos over there. What's going on, Mikey?
Buddy.
Big Mike.
How you been?
Just hanging out.
I said I'm going to do
wait to talk about food.
I know. I said a food podcast, and Mikey's like, I'll be there.
This is like a Knicks colors.
It is a
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Knicks
Not bad.
Mets. Yeah,
Not bad.
How's
Here
the
we are.
touring been? You've been on the road?
Yeah, but a little bit here and there. I'm trying to think where I've been recently. I don't even fucking remember, dude. I was in Ohio. I was in where was I in November? Dude, I literally it's all a blur.
Yeah.
I've been touring around a bunch. I got Connecticut coming up, and then I'm trying to add some of my sort of like standard spots that I like to go every year.
Nice.
Boston, Chicago.
Okay.
Trying to get Pittsburgh, Charlotte, DC on the calendar.
Nice.
And yeah, man, just running around.
Are you from the East Coast, or where are you from originally?
I'm from Connecticut.
You're from Connecticut. Okay. Oh, so Connecticut's it's a going home show, kind of.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort
That
of.
room's, it's a great room.
It's a great room.
I love the room, yeah.
I think this will be my third or fourth time doing it.
Oh, nice, man.
It was a one-nighter. So, yeah, dude, love it. You know?
Yeah. I love the food situation there.
What is it?
They have like 3 restaurants you can choose from. They
right,
have
right,
like the
right.
pizza spot, they got the Chinese spot, and they got something else.
Yeah.
I usually
yeah.
just go with the pizza.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what we usually do. I don't know if I've ever actually ordered food from my show, but I know when I've done other people's shows, they did.
Yeah.
So I should do that.
I've done this. Yeah. Whenever they do the showcase, I'm like, yeah, I'll take a pizza.
Hell yeah.
Just handing out pizzas over
Absolutely,
here.
dude.
What's your go-to road meal? On the
Man,
road.
so all right, go-to road meal I would say is more of a go-to road sort of routine, which is
Ooh,
like
okay.
I try to hit the big meal during the day,
Okay.
not just because it like works out better, and then usually for the shows I'm not super hungry. Like I don't know, I'm not a person who like doesn't eat before the show.
Okay.
If something's really calling to me, or if I happen to be really hungry, like I'll eat before the show. I don't care. But like I tend to eat something a little lighter for dinner. For the
Okay.
shows.
Do you have a
couple
rider?
drinks.
Do you have any food on your rider?
I don't
or-
have a rider.
You don't have a rider?
No, because guys, FYI, if you're dreaming of having a rider, you pay for your own rider.
Yeah,
So
I didn't know that
don't
for the
want-
longest time.
I don't
Yeah.
want to take any, because I have my like non-negotiable expenses, like especially if I'm in a place that I haven't really been. Like I need to rent a car. Like I love having a car. I don't like just
Yeah.
sitting in my room all day. I like big explorer for anybody who knows
yeah.
about me. And that is not just international. Like I love to see shit around the country. So yeah, I was in Seattle recently. That was another spot that I just did, and I'm trying to go to all the national parks.
Okay, that's cool. How many have you hit so far?
180.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's
Wow.
431. They add a few every few years. So I like that because
That's
it's like,
cool, yeah.
theoretically we'll always have new stuff to do, even
Yeah.
if I like torch it. But so for the most part, like there's one semi close to wherever I'm performing. So
Okay.
like for Seattle, for example, there's 3 like major national parks in the Seattle area.
In Seattle.
I've now
Okay.
gone to all of them.
What are they?
It's Olympic National Park.
Okay.
Which is like hard to me. Like if anybody were to be like, I've been to every national park, I'd be surprised if Olympic wasn't like close to the top of people's lists.
Really? Is
It's
that the
insanely sick.
go-to? Is like hiking and stuff? Or
So
what?
yes, but it's like 3 unique ecosystems in one park. It's massive. And in
man.
order to get to like the coolest shit in the park, you have to drive like many, many hours to get to, 'cause
Really?
it's,
Oh,
like,
it's that big.
all the way in the west like the west coast of the park, which is obviously the only coast. It's like Pacific Northwest, and like a lot of those highlights are sort of near the coast. There's a rainforest in it, which is the only
What?
rainforest in the continent of the United States.
Oh, I did not know that. That's cool.
Also, the northwesternmost point in the contiguous United States is in the park as well, which is super sick.
Oh, wow.
So there's that. There's the North Cascades National Park, which is like cool mountain range. And then I'm glad we're talking about food. And then the Mount Rainier, which is like,
Oh, man,
I think
I've
it
heard
was-
of that one.
I think
Yeah.
it was like the 3rd or 4th, maybe even the 2nd national park.
Okay.
In the system. So pretty sick.
What do you? So you go hiking on those like the day of the
Sometimes.
show, or what do you?
No, so it depends. Like, if it's something that requires hiking or like this
Yeah,
Olympic
yeah.
situation, like I hate the idea of going and not getting to see the stuff.
Got it.
So for Olympic, I give myself a couple extra days. I stayed extra.
Okay, that makes sense.
But like Rainier, for example, if I'm going to a place like that, like you can't. It's not like going to a museum. You know what I mean? And even in a museum, sometimes there's tons of shit in the museum.
Yeah.
But like you have to decide what you're going to do if you can, and then sort of
Okay.
like let whatever random stuff happen. So
Plan it
I'm
out.
going to Rainier. I'm going to do this hike. blah, 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 shows tomorrow. You know what I mean? And sometimes a national park site will just be like somebody's house. It'll be like a noteworthy person's house, or where like Abraham Lincoln was born, for example.
Yeah.
And that's like an easier thing to visit because like it's the house.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
What's your? You take granola on you go on the hike. What do you do? What's the food situation?
So I don't usually like bring snacks or whatever. But one thing I do like when I travel around is trying whatever the thing is, and a lot of the time that's not obvious.
Yeah.
Like it's not. You'd be amazed at how many little things there are that you've never heard of about places, even as a person like me who seeks it out. So there'll be some special way they do something. And you're like, oh, I gotta try it.
Oh, okay.
I like it, you might not, whatever. But I try my best to be adventurous when I like travel internationally too.
Yes.
As long as, I try to avoid getting food poisoning. I usually get it anyway.
Yeah.
And this is, when you travel to places where the water isn't as good and maybe the pipes aren't as whatever. And as a South Asian man.
I'm very well versed in travel food poisoning.
Where's your family from?
India.
Okay. So
South India.
South Asia is like sort of the gold standard for food poisoning.
Oh yeah.
Pakistan, India. I've been to Afghanistan.
I saw that. I wanted to talk to you about that. That's
I got
crazy.
Food poisoning on the way home.
Oh, you did? Oh, on the way home.
And it's unclear. I want to talk a bit about that because it's unclear what triggered it. There's some trends emerging, but also they say Central Asia has pretty gnarly food poisoning. So I'm fine with getting food poisoning as long as I have decent facilities.
Yes, that's the key. That's the key. You got to have the facilities.
If you have a bathroom that you can fucking get naked and lay on the floor,
that's ideal.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that everywhere.
Yeah.
So I tend to maybe shy away from like multiple day excursions where, God forbid, something were to happen to me. It would be tough to get.
You don't want to be
any help
out in the mix without the essentials.
You're going to the bathroom in a hole.
That's
and
a
the
lot.
hole smells like shit.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to recover from being sick when everything smells like shit.
Yeah, everything just fits right now. This is just. So you talked about Afghanistan. So your travel show, places you can go. Yes.
Have you found a specific type of food you can't eat on the road? Like you're like, I know the water always will screw you, or anything. You're like, if I eat this, I'm toast. Like I'm done.
So there's just kind of like general rules that one should abide by.
What are some tips?
Cooked food. Don't eat food off the street.
The street food, it's so tempting though.
It depends where you are. Like if you're in Taiwan or you're in like Hong Kong or one of these places that are like known for their street food, Singapore, like you can eat it. But like I wouldn't eat street food in India or Central America.
I wouldn't eat it in New York City.
Or New York, yeah.
Those coffee cart guys, I went and bought a water today. And
the water was brown.
He was shitting yourself.
Cutting a roll barehanded, grabbed my money, put it in, and just kept cutting. Like it was just the most cross contamination I've
Have you
ever
gotten a bacon, egg, and cheese from those coffee cart guys?
Never.
I probably have at some point. But so besides Europe and sort of the U.S., Europe, sort of other places, typically there's a risk for food poisoning.
Yeah.
So and it'll be like it's not going to be like the intestines or whatever the wacky thing you eat. It's going to be like a piece of lettuce. You know what I mean? So like
E. coli.
I just stay away from, unfortunately, like vegetables that aren't cooked.
Okay.
And also a really good trick is to not eat a lot. Because if there's like random bacteria in your stomach, like if you eat a ton, like it's going to be harder to digest.
Oh, and then I didn't know that.
Throwing it all up and shitting yourself and all that stuff. So, now I say all this, I usually end up getting sick, like I said. It tends to happen toward the end of the trip, and I can't tell if that's because I've started to let my guard down or if there's some other thing.
Yeah.
But, I've traveled, I've shot stuff probably in 7 or 8 different countries across a few different trips, and I would say I get sick at least half the time.
Half the time? That's not bad, honestly.
So it's okay.
I mean, I was watching places you can go, right? I was watching the Afghanistan one. Dude, first of all, you're doing this yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you haven't checked it out, go check it out on his YouTube. It is phenomenal. It's a legit Netflix level, maybe better, honestly, travel show. And you're doing it all in yourself. How did this all thing start?
Wow. Well, it's a good question. I did this thing in Rwanda, like probably now 7 or 8 years ago. And I ended up just doing this comedy festival over there. I read this article about these comedians in Rwanda in a random magazine. It was like a politics magazine.
Okay.
And I was like, that's interesting. So I like Facebook messaged the dudes. I was like, hey, like I'd love to come do a show if you guys are happy. They're like, oh, okay. Like, you'll like pay for yourself to come here. I'm like, yeah. They're like, all right, yeah, like sweet. And it's funny, like they said that they were like super like sketched out by it.
They thought you were scamming them somehow.
Yeah, it's almost like the reverse of getting the like the email from your Nigerian great grandfather that you've inherited $1 million. So anyway, I went and I did it. Like a couple of days before, I had this sort of like revelation, which shouldn't have been a revelation. It should have been obvious, but I was like, this would be worth filming. Like, I don't know how to film stuff. I don't know how to edit stuff. Like, I'll offer to pay for my 2 friends to come.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have any money. I kind of just threw it on a credit card and was like, whatever, YOLO.
Yeah.
And then in hopes that, you know, they would shoot something cool for me and then they would edit it and then it would be awesome. So we shot a bunch of stuff and then we sit down and I think one of the guys I was working with on it realized that it was kind of going to be a heavy lift. So I realized I was kind of on my own. So I sort of just started to learn how to do it all.
Wow.
Sort of on the go. Some of it's intuitive, some less so, but over time you kind of learn how to do it. And there was a lot of problems with the stuff. Like we had audio problems, this, that.
Sure. Yeah.
So I ended up with this like 9-minute video. It was almost like an extended trailer.
Okay.
But it was good. And I was hoping that it was going to become something, whatever. And I ended up just putting it on my Instagram. This is before Reels. I put the whole thing on my Instagram.
It's like Instagram TV those days.
Yeah. Like it was like a 9-minute video. And I put it out and like Schultz reposted it.
Oh, wow.
And it got like 100,000 views.
Wow.
Which at the time, that's like a true 100,000 views.
Yeah.
That's not like getting pushed out. That's like sharing and this and that. And like, this was a couple of years after we had done it. I was pretty like worn down by the process.
Okay.
And I must say, if he had never done that, if that video had gotten like 800 views, like I may never have made another one.
Wow.
But I did it. I was really happy with it. And with the things that I learned, and I was like, this could be a cool thing to start doing. And I started just like messing around, trying different stuff that wasn't necessarily comedy related in different places and refining the approach and all that shit.
That's cool, man.
So yeah, dude. So cut to now, like I've shot in like I said, I don't know, 10 different countries or whatever.
You've been to Iran, Afghanistan?
Not Iran.
Or Iraq, right?
I did one in Iraq.
Afghanistan.
Iran I haven't done, but I want to do it. The guy that I bring to film, he doesn't have any, like, I want to have dual citizenship before I do it because it's easier to like get around and stuff.
Oh, okay.
He will not be able to get that. And he can still get a visa. It's just going to be hard. So anyway, that's maybe we'll shoot that in 2026.
That's cool, man. I mean, it's just like so well done. And dude, you're like a natural on like, so did you travel before this? Like, were you like a big traveler growing up? Or?
No, but I didn't travel much growing up. Just sort of like, I don't know if you guys did this, but the sort of immigrant summer trip to visit the homeland.
Family,
I'd go to Italy and stay at my grandparents' house for 3 weeks. But it wasn't really like travel, if that makes sense. Like we take a day trip to Milan. We went to Rome 1 week. Like, so we did some stuff, but until I was, I'm trying to remember. Actually, I have this all written down because I'm OCD, but I'm curious about this now because until I was an adult, I think I'd only been to Canada and Italy.
Oh, wow. Very similar. India and Canada, actually.
Oh, really?
I never left the U.S. until I was 35.
Really?
Wow. Where'd you go?
Italy.
Was that your first
Tuscany
trip?
for a wedding. It's
a good place to start.
Fiance, and then we spent a month just touring around Europe. And then the day I got home, I booked a one-way ticket to go back, and I just kind of explored for like another month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
just
cool.
by myself.
Did you
doing
get
tons of
food
shows.
poisoning?
I don't get food poisoning. I get food poisoning here. I get on the road.
Well, what's your body count? Like what, have you been to a bunch of places by now?
Yeah, probably like 10, 11 countries now.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Remember, so I just looked. I went to Germany when I was 21.
Okay.
I was in Italy for a family trip, and I had a friend from college who lived in Germany. So I took the train by myself from Italy, and we went to Switzerland, and then to Germany. And that trip was like, I kind of had that like wanderlust moment. I remember I was sort of on the train by myself, like navigating, you know what I mean? And it felt like this big adventure.
That's cool. Yeah.
I loved it. So from there, it was always on my radar. And anytime I got an opportunity to go somewhere, I would go always.
That's awesome.
And by now, and I've been probably like almost 50 countries.
Wow. 50. Man, that passport's stamped out.
The passport looks pretty crazy. So anyway, yeah, dude, I love it. I really.
That's awesome,
really
man. So then the food stuff, you're trying the local food. You're trying not to get sick. What's the best thing you've had in international travel? Outside of Italy, though, because I got to say that because I feel like hometown food that's gonna be the favorite most of the time. But
Well, and also like not to be biased, but like Italy is one of those places where it's almost hard to get a bad meal.
Yeah.
And the food really is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And to the point where like even in other countries they have like Italian shit all over their menus. Yeah, dude, like Italian food is just so fucking good. So, but I'll say like I like Middle Eastern food a lot.
Okay.
Like there was really good food in Lebanon, Jordan. Iraq has really good food.
Yeah.
It's also interesting to just see the subtle differences regionally between these different places. Like Iraq's food is much like denser. There's like big portions, like rice, bread, like dense, and like people are sort of like all built like shot putters there too, like compact, low center of gravity, stout, strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like the food there a lot. The food in Afghanistan was pretty good. It was pretty.
Is it similar? Like what is
rustic?
Rustic. Okay.
There'll be a lot of bones that you didn't know existed, like in the chicken that you're eating, which is like which is good, but also
it's good to know beforehand.
Yeah, you're like, all right. And Afghanistan is sort of like a crossroads between Central Asia, Middle East, Iran, whatever, all these different places, South Asia, if I didn't already say that. Yeah. So you kind of like see all those little sprinkles of everything in there. Really good bread. Overall, food's pretty good.
That's cool.
There aren't that many places where I was like, man, the food wasn't good. Because usually, they do something well.
Anything exotic that you've had in this?
Yeah, I've tried some wacky stuff. Trying to think. When I was in Ecuador, so this was sort of like a test shoot. Like,
okay,
I'm realizing now we learned a lot doing this. We were like, let's just go on a trip and let's.
Was that the first one after
Rwanda?
Rwanda,
I think. Yeah, we went to Ecuador.
Okay,
and we were by ourselves. We sort of were figuring it out and made some mistakes from a like shooting something perspective.
Got it.
So some days it was like, all right, like let's just go eat something crazy because like we can't think of anything else to do. So we heard that we ate a guinea pig first of all.
Okay.
Which is a thing there. It was pretty good. And they're like, you think that's crazy? They're like, there's this.
What a reaction, Mahesh. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
that's like saying you ate a chihuahua.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it didn't have a name. it's like
a delicacy there.
What did it? Is a stew? Did it taste like chicken?
Yes.
I don't know. What's the deal with that? Why is everything it tastes like? Tastes like pork more so?
Maybe. I don't know. Like sure.
But was it like on a skewer? Like
kind of, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. That's yeah.
It was good.
That's rough.
Guinea pig.
Rotisserie guinea pig.
And then so we tried this thing. It was like this sheep. There's this. Ooh. It was called They called it caldo de calavera.
Okay.
And we were trying to figure out where we could find it. It's this deep cut dish where it's this sheep head, and you basically eat the head of the sheep, and then when you're done eating the head, they take an axe and they chop its brain open, and then you eat the brain. Yeah, it's crazy.
Caldo de cabeza. So there's a dish from Peruvian Ancash region.
There we go.
So there's
Mikey
a couple different things. So that's one. The thing that we ate was caldo de borrego or something. Borrego.
You knew about this before, or you went there and you're like, what should I try?
A dude told us about it. We were asking around trying to find, and everyone was like, they either didn't know what we were talking about,
or they're annoyed.
Dude, it was almost like this movie moment where we're like hanging and like no one knows anything, and some old man in the corner overhears us and like turns around and is like, caldo de calavera.
Just like whispers.
And I was like, yeah. And then he like told us where to go. So we go to this market, and like, dude, there was like local dudes like sitting at this counter, like watching me eat this, being like, Jesus, dude, I can't believe
this guy's nuts.
Can't believe you're eating this. There's a video of it, which you can find on my YouTube channel, but I posted on my Instagram not long ago.
You want to plug the YouTube real quick while you?
Yeah, I think if you do youtube.com/notjulio, you'll find it. It's just all travel videos. There's only a few, but they're all pretty good. So anyway, we went and ate that. That was pretty gnarly.
What did that taste like? So what was the first part? Not good?
The face was fine.
I feel like that disturbed me. Then I'm out. I'm out on the brain.
Was very
mushy. I feel like it would be
gooey,
mushy. Yeah.
Almost like mucus, chalky, not good.
Yeah, mucus, that's not a good description for a food.
Not good.
Oh, that's not good.
And I didn't feel great after I ate that, but
no sickness after that?
No, like it was cooked. You know what I mean?
So lettuce shitting your brains out.
Potentially.
Brains? You're fine.
Produce, it's not the obvious
Isn't that
thing.
wild?
It's not the obvious thing. Yeah. Anything cooked that people eat is probably fine.
That's crazy, yeah. Well, I guess it's like on a fire or something. I don't know how you...
I think it was like in like a stew almost.
In
It's
a
like
stew.
boiled.
Okay, so it's cooked.
Yeah, they
some
cooked
degree.
it.
That's why
Yeah, yeah,
vegans are always so sickly looking.
Yeah, right.
Because they're constantly sick.
That's
a real
lungs
thing.
collapsing.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're not getting their nutrients and stuff, right?
And they're puking a lot and shitting their brains out a lot.
Yeah.
Puking? Why? Just because they don't have a diverse enough diet?
Yeah, because it rejects a lot of like carrots and
Really?
romaine lettuces and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's lettuce. Lettuce is like the most common foodborne
Is that
illness.
really
Yeah,
lettuce?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh,
That's
that's
the
good to
main
know.
diet of a vegan, I would say.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go,
true.
dude.
Lettuce and ice chips, I suppose.
Ice chips,
what they eat.
kale chips,
Yeah.
kale chips. Oh man,
yeah,
that's
dude.
crazy.
But yeah,
That's-
but one thing I will say, like, I remember I went to Greece, which was like an amazing trip.
oh
Like,
yeah, I'm sure
went
it's
to,
beautiful. Yeah.
You know, Cyclades, like it's the thing that makes it so perfect is it's like a very arid climate, so it doesn't really rain. Like the weather's perfect most of the time.
okay.
And it's just absolutely gorgeous. Like I've never
Yeah.
really seen anything like it. But Greek food is like, to me, mid compared to Italian food. And like,
Really? Oh, you're gonna start some wars in these comments.
this is just an Italian thing. Like I think all Italians just think the Greek food or the Italian food is far superior to Greek food. And I've learned to appreciate Greek food in adulthood.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Feta and goat cheese and like some of the things they do really well.
I love feta. Yeah.
And the food was good there, but like it was still felt very hit or miss. Whereas in
Really?
Italy,
Okay.
it's
It's like
like
everywhere you go, it's
every
like-
meal's amazing.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you get it.
I feel that's why I feel like Indian food in India. I've only been to South India, but I'm like, but you got to be real careful. We would boil the drinking water. Like we would buy a bottled water, but then we'd have to boil it because my cousins were like, no. What they do is people find things, clean it up, and then fill it with the tap water.
Yeah.
So you get fucked.
So, okay, so it's interesting you say that. So we've encountered that too in Afghanistan, and there's kind of ways that you can tell. First of all,
How can you tell?
If the bottle is filled too high to the top, that's a good way to tell. And they also seal it by like melting it. So you can tell. It's different than
Really?
like this bottle, for example, where like
It has those clicky
the
things.
mini clicky things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you'll
zipper.
notice that those are broken, and you gotta stay away from those.
That's interesting. Okay, we're learning a lot here. This is good.
helpful. This is helpful for you guys.
We're trying to help you not shit your pants.
Yes, we don't want you to do that.
Or at least have a story about it.
Because yeah, I mean, people are afraid to travel because you know the unknown, and
Yeah.
you hear these sort of horror stories.
Oh, yeah.
And people are afraid of all that stuff. But in reality, the two biggest risks are always getting sick and getting robbed.
Yeah.
Most of the time, neither of those are going to like
Actually happen,
ruin
yeah,
your
or-
life.
yeah.
But those two things can happen.
Yeah.
You know, some of the other scarier stuff, I don't want to put it out there just in case, I don't want it to happen to me, but
Yeah.
that shit's probably not going to happen to you. It's like the same as getting struck by lightning.
Yeah.
But like you will get food poisoning.
Yeah.
So-
But I think it's just you got to be smart about it. It's like being in New York. You got to know what you're doing. You got to kind of, you know.
Yeah. Use your common sense.
Yeah.
Try to, don't walk around South American cities by yourself at night.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Are you a drinker? Do you drink?
Yes.
I feel like that's the way I think that's what fucks people up is like the ice. Cause you forget about it like late in the night.
Interesting.
2 drinks in, 3rd drink. You're like, oh yeah, let me get that with ice or something. And then I feel like that's where people get it. But some places I feel like they filter, like in Mexico, there's like one place we went to mojitos, like, well, we filter the ice. It's like travel friendly, but I guess I don't know. I don't know if you can trust that. I don't know if people do that here. I mean,
Mexico does, they do sort of like tourism so well that like if you're staying at a spot and all that stuff, like the food's going to be really good, the service will be really good, and like you can trust your mojito.
Yeah.
Usually. But still, Montezuma's revenge, as they say, like you still can very easily get sick. So
yeah.
tread with caution.
I have some prearranged questions here. I'd like you to pick.
Fan chain resto.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fave chain.
There you go. My
resto.
handwriting is. I could have been a doctor.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, handwriting's terrible. What's your favorite chain restaurant? What do you got? What's Connecticut? I guess yeah. And what's something in Connecticut like that? I'm from Texas, so
I was
we have
gonna
very
ask, yeah.
specific
Where
stuff.
in Texas are you from?
Dallas.
Cool. Bougie. Dallas is bougie. I've actually never really been. I need to get out there. So favorite chain restaurant. So I mean, we have sort of like the staples. Like I grew up sort of in far away Connecticut. Like if you're from New York. Like everybody in New York knows about those places in Connecticut. They're kind of commuter towns. Like we were not a commuter town.
Okay.
It's like far enough away that all people that I grew up with, like most of them had not really ever been to New York.
Okay.
My family was from here, so I was more familiar with it. But so I'm trying to think. We had sort of like the standard shit, dude. We had Ruby Tuesday and Chili's.
Okay.
We had.
I like Chili's.
And I guess when you say chain, I don't think we really had Olive Garden or Carrabba's or any of that stuff. Not that we would have ever gone there.
Yeah.
But we used to go to Ruby Tuesday a lot.
Ruby Tuesday is good.
A lot.
They had the burger deals, right? Yeah.
I ate a ton of burgers as a kid. I loved Chili's growing up.
Oh yeah, the appetizers you can't beat.
I loved it. We used to go there all the time. We used to go to Bertucci's a lot.
What is that?
It's like a pizza place.
Oh, okay.
It was really fucking good, I recall, as a kid. Eventually, I think that it got bought and then they made it bigger. And I remember us all acknowledging that the quality had gone down.
Yeah.
And then we went to Outback Steakhouse.
Bloomin' Onion, baby.
Bloomin' Onion.
Oh, yeah.
I would say as an adult, I don't go to them.
No.
Just because, I'm not going to eat that shit here in New York. There's too many options. And if I'm on the road, like I said, I want to try to eat at like a cool spot.
The hole-in-the-wall spots.
Either a hole-in-the-wall spot. And even if it sucks, you know what I mean? Even if it's like a shitty diner that's terrible, like I'd rather go there than like a truly like tried and true chain spot.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I was just in a town where there was nothing to eat after 9 o'clock. Except for Applebee's, and there was no choice, zero choice. Gotta tell you, had a great time.
What'd you get?
When you have no choice, it's a good choice.
Yeah,
because you're gonna get a 2-for-1 appetizer and a $3 beer. You can't beat the deal.
And then you turn off that part of your brain that's like judging you of like,
absolutely,
I have to do this.
I'm either gonna be hungry or I'm gonna be not hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have the warm IPA and the oversauced boneless wings. I'm a big fan.
5,000 calorie boneless wings.
Exactly. Yeah.
I went to an Applebee's in Dickinson, North Dakota. And enjoyed myself. But yeah, like I can't say that as an adult I have one because I honestly try to avoid them.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to eat something that I can eat everywhere.
What about like the fast food spots? I feel like for me, if I'm not in New York, I purposely will go to Taco Bell is like mine by far number one, but the fast food joints are way better in the suburbs. So I'm like, if I'm in the suburbs and I have an opportunity, I'm like, man, maybe I'll get something. What do you mean?
Just like a diversity of options?
No, I think the quality is just unreasonably better. I mean, Taco Bell in the city, I've gone to a few. It is horrifying. It's scary.
I used to eat Taco Bell probably 3 times a week as a kid.
Did you? What's your Taco Bell? What's your go-to order?
I'll be honest again, not to sound like a fucking dick, but like I do not eat fast food
anymore at all.
I'm not like an in shape person at all.
Oh, you're better than me.
Well, no, I don't eat healthy. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not like in great shape at all, so I'm not necessarily doing it for
health
some reason other than it grosses me out.
Okay, but when you used to go, what was your go-to order?
So chalupas and gorditas.
Oh, yeah.
They still have those.
Yeah, they still have those.
Chalupa. I would usually like get some combination of that, like one of each and a soft taco, maybe.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I just went to Taco Bell last Friday. I was in Connecticut, New York.
Oh, nice.
I did.
Where in Connecticut?
I did the Stanford room.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
New York Comedy Club, Stanford.
Yeah.
So one thing that's fun about Taco Bell, like Taco Bell Cantina, like you can get a fucking
drink,
Baja Blast and vodka, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And when I was in Vegas, we were just like drinking those and like having the best time.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like if I had to eat fast food, and you're like, which one would you have?
Yeah.
Subway, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Does that even count?
I don't count it as fast food. I mean, technically, I'll give it to you. I used to go to Quiznos. That's what we had in Texas.
Wow. Quiznos was pretty good.
Quiznos was
solid. You throw it on the little toaster conveyor belt.
Yeah, I feel like that was the first place that had that. Where I was like, they got an oven for the sandwiches. That's pretty cool.
So, for the sake of the discussion, like I don't actually technically consider either of those fast food.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Like, sort of not. Okay. It's not like I get that it's fast food, but like Quiznos and like Panera and those kind of places,
it's like a sandwich spot.
It's a step up from McDonald's.
I agree with that. Sure.
As much as McDonald's tries to act like whatever, it's McDonald's, dude. You know what I mean? Or like any like burger fast food place. I guess In-N-Out's really good.
In-N-Out's good.
But In-N-Out again, like it's like elevated fast food.
That's true. Yeah.
But I do like In-N-Out.
I used to live in LA. I've never seen an In-N-Out without a line. I'm like,
I know. It's madness.
In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A. Those are the two fast food spots. I feel like those are at the top hierarchy of fast food legitimately. But like In-N-Out the line, and I'm like, the first time I went, I was like, I was resisting it. I don't eat beef anymore. So they do a grilled cheese though. They're veggie friendly. So it's grilled cheese. It has everything on it. You do animal style. The fries are so good, man. The animal style.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A sort of became available up here
recently.
Once
Yeah.
I had already like
After you had
stopped
kind of
eating that
stopped
kind of
eating
shit.
it. Yeah.
So I haven't really gotten into it, but I'm sure I would love it.
Do you have any like hole in the wall spots here that you don't mind sharing with other people? Because sometimes you have one, you're like, I'm not telling nobody about this.
Right, gatekeeping.
Yeah.
So it's pretty hard to keep places a secret to the point where when people have a secret spot, I usually find it's not even good.
Yeah.
It's like, you just go to the place that everyone goes to. There's a place in my neighborhood that they just opened their first brick and mortar spot. It's a pizza place called Chrissy's.
I had that last week.
Dude, it's amazing.
So good.
It's so good.
So
and
good,
it's
yeah.
like crazy line at all times. It seems like maybe it started to die down a bit now, but like they were selling out a pizza by like 7:30 every single night.
So that's cool. That guy was doing it out of his apartment for a
Yeah.
while, right? And then he switched over. Yeah.
And they were doing pop-ups, and now they have their own spot.
Yeah.
That place is like blew me away.
shockingly good. I'm like,
Shockingly
oh, this is, I see why the guy got so popular from making it in his apartment to.
Yeah, they figured it out.
Yeah.
Like, not to be fucking, basic, but like potentially the best pizza I've ever had.
Really?
My wife
okay.
agrees.
Okay.
So,
nice. Yeah.
crazy.
You guys have it's Rhode Island has the Rhode Island pizza, right? It's like
Connecticut.
It's Connecticut.
Yeah, it's great.
What's that one? There's like a
Pepe's.
Pepe's?
So
Okay.
there's Pepe's, Sally's, and Modern are the three New Haven spots.
Okay.
Those were sort of like not well known when I was growing up.
Okay.
People kind of knew. Then like Barstool kind of like really blew it up.
Oh,
and, like,
is that how
it's
it-
become a thing that people know about now?
okay.
It is like a landmark thing.
Is
like
it?
if
Okay.
I'm thinking of like if Connecticut has stuff where it's like if you're in Connecticut you got to do this. Like New Haven is the premier city in
Okay.
Connecticut.
Okay.
They have the pizza. They have Yale. That's pretty much just shit. And the
Yale
other
and
cities
pizza.
don't have much going on.
Yeah.
Hartford's sort of like has its sort of best times have come and gone.
Okay.
It's not that nice. It's interesting looking, but nothing to brag about. And then Bridgeport and Waterbury are the other two, and they're not significant
Not
cities
much.
necessarily,
Okay.
so.
So New
You
Haven
did
pizza.
Louis' lunch.
Is that the
by
burger
Yale?
place?
Yeah.
They claim to have invented the burger, right?
Yeah.
This is in Connecticut?
Yeah, it's
Bluey's
like this old-
lunch.
Yeah, it's like an old flame grilled
Ooh.
thing.
So Burger King.
Was my opinion
No.
boring, dude.
I've never been.
It was
but
boring.
I believe
And
it.
people were going nuts over it. I was like, this is just almost cooked beef on white bread. And that's it's just people are just because of the mystique of it. They think this is amazing.
Is that what
It's like,
flame broiled means? They don't fully cook it?
No, it just means that they didn't cook it properly.
So, dude, there are like things like that where I appreciate the experience, and then if
Yeah.
like the food isn't as good, then I don't care. But there's another thing in Connecticut that's random. I don't even think it's actually a thing.
Okay.
There's this thing called steamed cheeseburgers. Meriden, Connecticut, there was a place. It was called Ted's.
Okay.
They also claim to have invented the burger or something, and it's super weird, but like really kind of good. I don't know if it's worth traveling to Meriden for.
Is that the thing they put like the dome, the steel thing that covers it? Is that what
It's
it
in
is?
like this little tray. It's weird. It's like square.
They
It's
do those with roast beef too. They'll like steam a roast beef. But yeah, Ted's is the place that
Ted's.
they're claiming
Okay.
to have.
That sounds pretty good.
They claim to have invented the burger or the steamed
the steamed burger. It
Yeah,
looks
okay,
like.
so-
Steam burger.
The
Okay.
cheese is crazy. They take it out with like a spatula. So anyway, those are
wow.
some cool things.
That's
Obviously, Connecticut, Yukon, big thing.
Yeah.
But like really, you know what I mean? Because like if you're closer to the city, people just identify with New York.
Got
and
it.
then
Okay.
I lived kind of near Middletown.
Okay.
The town I grew up in was called Higganum.
Okay.
And it was sort of like right on the cutoff. Like the kids I grew up with were like 50% Yankee fans, 50% Red Sox fans.
Got it. Okay.
Right smack in the middle. And Yukon was the big thing for
Oh, yeah.
good reason. And like this was sort of like in the 90s, Yukon men's basketball, Big East. It was like amazing.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
They kind of tried to become a football school at one point, but now
Yeah.
they're back to their sort of old glory. Even though
basketball, yeah.
This year they've been losing a bunch of games randomly, but I
Yeah.
suspect they'll still be really good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They're like an institution. I feel like they're, especially with
Definitely.
basketball. Yeah. That's cool, man. We got a few more minutes. You want to
Keep
do a
hitting
couple
them.
more of
Keep
these?
hitting
Let's
the
see.
cards.
Let's see what we got here.
Keep hitting the cards, baby.
We good on time, Mikey?
This is international food. I feel like we kind of covered
Oh yeah, we did that.
Cooking comedy. What's this one?
I don't know. Let's not do that one.
Well, what did you have in mind here?
I don't know. Like, is there a similarity between cooking and comedy? But I don't know. That's boring.
Maybe.
What's this one?
Best worst meal on the road.
Kind of covered that one too. Your
Kind
best.
of covered that.
Yeah.
I'll say this, like in the green room, like whatever sort of like fried food the comedy club is making. I try to avoid.
Oh, you do? I see that. I'm like, I'll try that.
It's just like not usually worth it.
Yeah.
And then whatever like healthy thing you try to get is usually not good either.
Oh no.
It'll be like a terrible salad, and there's always hummus.
Yeah, there is always. What is the deal with hummus in comedy
I'll
clubs?
tell you, comedy at Carlson in Rochester, their hummus is phenomenal.
Really?
That's a nice little spot.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
Dude, this is funny. Lil Sass, the comedian Harry Settle, he was talking about Rochester, and we were talking about the capacity. He's like, they're like, how many does it seat? And he's like 200 technically, but you'd think that the place could fit 2,000. He's like, it is massive. It is true.
It's huge.
It's
Yeah.
huge. Yeah, dude,
I've never
it's
been
so
there.
funny.
That's cool.
Ooh, favorite dessert.
Okay, there we go.
This is a fun one. So, all right, I want to tie this in with one of the
All right,
questions you
let's
had me
do it.
prepare.
Okay.
Embarrassing Uber Eats orders.
Oh yes. I forgot. Thanks for. I forgot.
You're welcome. I had a period of time, dude, where I was ordering one slice of Milk Bar birthday cake. That is a slice of cake. That is an embarrassing fucking order.
I mean, I can't say anything about that because I've also been there, buddy.
a slice of cake. It's fucking good.
You know, the drivers got that order. They're like, oh, man.
It's like they feel bad. Like
I'm already upset that I'm doing this. Now I got to take it to this guy. Saddest man alive.
I'm ordering the gluten-free one. I'm like, as if that's going to do anything,
Do
dude.
you guys have a candle
Yeah, just one.
add on?
Dude, yeah, so embarrassing.
Oh,
But
that's
it's
Special
funny.
request from the driver. Can you light? I'm not doing that.
Can you sing to me?
I love dessert, but it all like makes me feel terrible typically.
Oh, yeah.
Like it just makes me gassy and like there's just literally no nutritional value in it.
Yeah.
So like I try to just not think about it because
That's
if
good.
I'm thinking about it,
Then
I'm
you'll
gonna get it.
So that's good. You have some good self-control. I don't have.
I don't though.
You don't?
No.
Oh, it sounds like you do. I mean, I'm like, I've done
I
all
try.
all those bad things.
But no, I do all of these things. I'm saying
Yeah,
I try
yeah,
not
you
to.
would try not to,
I try
yeah.
not to. So I try
Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
best to like put things in place to prevent myself from making
Oh,
bad
like
decisions.
fail-safes. Yeah.
But like if I'm at a dinner and people order a bunch of dessert to share, like I won't touch it until
Yeah.
like the fourth quarter, and then I'll have some.
Yeah.
And then I'll have some.
No, it's like in those group situations, Mike, if TV's going to turn off automatically, we're in trouble. It's like one of those things with the group setting. You don't want to be the person that does the order. If everyone's like, oh, you want dessert? You want dessert? I'm like, I'll wait till somebody else says it. And if 2 or 3 people say it, then I'll be like, yeah, I guess you guys convinced me to have a dessert.
Dude, totally. Before you know it, I mean, I love ice cream. I love cake.
yeah.
I love it all. It's all fucking amazing. Like, there aren't many desserts where I'm like, I actually don't like that.
Yeah.
It's all has a bunch of sugar in it, dude. It's all
Yeah.
delicious.
It gets you to the same place. The only thing I don't like is key lime pie. I don't fuck with that.
Key lime pie, I love.
You do?
I love it all, dude.
Man. All
I
right.
love it all. Rhubarb, all that shit.
Rhubarb.
And then like fucking kids dessert, ice cream cake.
Oh,
you know,
I love kids. That's not necessarily
Bring it
kids'
on.
dessert. Ice cream cake is the
with
best.
that blue frosting.
Oh man, I love it. Yeah.
This is a good
Soda.
question. Soda? Soda? Question mark?
Oh, hold it back up.
Soda? Again,
What's your favorite soda?
So,
Do you
dude,
drink soda? Because some people don't.
I try not to again,
Yeah.
but I will have a Coke every once in a while. As a kid, I absolutely loved soda. Shout out to
Okay.
Nick Torelli. His dad packed their garage fridge with a ton of different like eclectic sodas.
Oh,
There was
nice.
cream soda in there, Surge, Mountain Dew. I loved all of the above. I actually used to drink every new Mountain Dew when it would come out. I would drink Code Red,
Code
the 20
Red,
ounces. When I first discovered weed, and I don't really smoke anymore because
Yeah,
it makes
yeah.
me paranoid and depressed, but you guys are like, man, you used to be fun, and now you're a fucking loser. Dude, I'm fun. I like fucking boozing, dude. That's my dessert, brother. But I used to drink a 20-ounce Mountain Dew. I would
Okay.
also get a strawberry Nesquik.
Ooh, oh, that's good.
I would
That's
get
good
a
stuff.
and a Snickers ice cream bar.
Oh,
And
man.
chips. Sun chips. I know. It's amazing I'm alive.
Dude, I love Sun Chips. That's a wild kind. All right. Question, since you said you do. Mikey, we got any cups? Would you be interested? I was wandering around the local bodega and stumbled upon this thing over here. Oreo Coca-Cola.
Oh, it's Coke Zero too.
That's the part that I didn't care for. I didn't see that until
Threw you off.
afterwards.
I was wondering why Albany's busted out the double cup. I was like, you sipping on lean over there, dude?
We got that too.
Yeah. Fucking- I had a summer I was drinking lean, dude.
Were you?
Yes, it was a
But
bad.
I used to lean pretty hard.
Did you?
I leaned into it.
Dude, I mean,
Buddy, that
like
chair's leaning.
you would sleep for 14 hours afterward. It wasn't a sustainable habit.
Lean is one puff of a joint now for me, though. It does the same thing at 40.
Yeah, right.
Man, yeah, you still have a hangover from having soda the next day at 40.
I'm smelling it. What the
Yeah, what do you?
No, smell it. It's weird, man.
I mean, dude, this is right up my alley as far as my legacy goes.
Hold on, let me get Mikey a little cup here.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
No.
I'll try it afterwards. All right.
He's good on the Oreo Coke.
Come on, everybody's doing it, Mikey.
So my friends all make fun of me because, like, you know how brands will introduce sort of new items periodically because there's clearly a market for that, and then they don't last forever. Like, I will always buy the brand new thing, and people are like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, dude?"
Cheers!
Birthday cake
Thanks for doing the
soda.
pod. Cheers, Mikey.
I think it's delicious, dude.
I mean, it is delicious.
It's not bad, actually.
I really wanted to hate this.
I know this is actually.
prepared.
It literally tastes like somebody crumbled an Oreo. Like, it sounds disgusting, but it's like they crumble an Oreo into a cup of Coke.
I'm going to go to a bar and be like, "Can I get a rum and Oreo Coke, please?" A rum in this would be amazing.
Now available on Delta flights. I'm having more, dude.
That's not bad.
This says fizzy cookie flavored. I didn't know that fizzy cookie was a type of cookie.
It's trademarked now. 0 calories. That's not bad. That's
Do you
not
think
bad
that they're
at all.
going to have an Oreo, a Coke flavored Oreo?
Well,
They should.
That's sick.
Oh, that would
Collab
be
we all
nice.
needed.
Yeah.
This is like shockingly good. Like, I don't want to stop drinking this.
I've
right
really
now.
enjoyed this. This is great. Life
Anyways,
changing.
man. Well, thanks for being here. I think we'll wrap it up. But you're on the road. Plug your stuff, man.
Yeah, so notjulio.com for tickets. And I got a special coming out next year, too. I'm not totally sure when, but I'm thinking probably
congrats.
February. Thank you.
Awesome.
So check that out and watch all my travel shit, dude. I'm intending to go hard with it in the new year, filming stuff in the U.S. and internationally. So.
Dude, it's fantastic, man. I did watch the Afghanistan one, hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was good. By the way, I didn't even get to, you opened a school.
Yes.
Dude, you want to plug that?
Yeah, sure.
That's
We can quickly
cool as
talk
hell,
about that.
man.
Thanks. Yeah, no, so we started school in Afghanistan, and now we are building a library that is pretty much done. The building itself is done being built. We're now buying all the books for it and stuff to kind of just like keep everything up and running.
That's very cool, man.
And yeah, dude, it's all been a great thing. And I didn't really have any intention to do it when I went, but it's ended up being a very rewarding thing and hopefully helpful for the people who are going.
That's awesome, man.
And a nice thing, yeah.
You're a good guy, man. Yeah, give him a follow. Check out the show.
At Not Julio on Instagram, Not Julio G, Snapchat, TikTok. Check me out. All that
And
shit.
then follow me at Mahesh Kotagi, MAHESH KOTAGI. Check out the clips. Tell a friend and share his videos and share this. And do yourself a favor. Get yourself a Coca-Cola Oreo. Oreo Coca-Cola. All right.
do it.